What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ENG Pot of Thunder with your boy, Young Denzel. And we're here with the mayor of Pawtucket, your own Flanny. And your Instagram, @Flanny.
That's it, @Flanny.
Flanny.
Can't get any simpler.
Hey, follow your boy. He got all the good posts about sports. Literally anything. This is your man to go to. All entertaining tweets, Instagram posts, you know it. And we're here also with @BrettDoIt, Amazon guru, the man. You might follow him on Twitter. You'll have everything, Patriots and Celtics, good or bad. Good or bad, but right now with the Celtics, it's all good right now.
He's not starting on the right topic.
Uh-oh.
He tried sliding.
Oh yeah, he tried to get away from
I
it.
tried to avoid it.
Yo, Effie's a psycho. This dude has a 90-inch TV in his living room. It's been here for a year?
A year and a
half? I'm like, yo, what? What's on the bottom corner of the TV? He's like, what? I'm like, the huge yellow sticker that says like the clearance price.
Remove me.
It was like 6x4. He's like, I just haven't taken it off. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He takes it off, and it's the entire TV. He had a sticker over.
So you can only do that at a certain
TV.
size. Like I feel like anything 55 and under, you have to take it off because it's gonna bother you. And once you get to that size, you just don't care.
You
don't care.
You were looking through plastic for a year.
Hey, bro, I want no one to scratch
He
it.
thought
That's
it was
the
the
thing.
tequila the whole time.
Yeah, you just unDS'd your TV. It was fucking VVNDS.
Well, like, I can flip it right now. Basically, it's brand new.
You could. We could get that back out. Try to stick it back on.
It was mad big, bro. It was like
It's still
it
a
looked
bit
like
of a counter.
a sheet that he just pulled off of it.
Well, like Flanny said, though, when it's 55 and over, nothing on the video even catches that. So you don't really notice.
Yeah.
I'll cover the ESPN right now, actually. Now you can see the logos, actually. Now you've
Yeah, you're welcome. Your remote's gonna work better.
You just got 1/10 of a fraction
And
of your
he
TV.
said he has it on in his room too.
Yeah,
shit.
He
that's
just
still
doesn't
there.
peel stickers.
We're going there next. After the pod. We'll report back on the next episode.
Wild, bro.
Hey, we do this one next. Yeah, fuck it. We gotta set the mood right.
My bad.
I'll do it with a girl, actually. That'll be my next move. We gotta come to my room, help me remove a sticker real quick. That's my pickup line.
Then you got to put it back on for the next one, though.
It's gonna have like 7 sets of handprints.
You're gonna be
on.
going to the Prov Place Mall, getting like screen protectors on your TV.
Pulling in, just walking in, walking through the mall with the TV on your back.
The worst, I have screen protectors on my TVs, but I don't have one on my fucking Apple Watch, and it's all scratched up now and shit.
Again, reckless. Don't know how folks. Is that bear?
That's bare, bro.
Oh my! I don't know.
I know. I
At
just
least you have
broke
a
it.
case though.
I guess
Like,
this
the
is
folks
like,
that have no screen protector, no case, no nothing, just out here raw dogging it. I couldn't do it.
Dude, that's my sister.
Couldn't do it.
She raw dogs it, and then she breaks her phone
Pause.
every 6 months. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I didn't say it like that. My bad.
Oh, I looked right in the camera. Pause that. Cut that.
She raw dogs the phone, and she breaks it every 6 months. And every 6 months, she's like, "Oh, need a new camera. Need a new phone." Yeah, no shit. And you do it every fucking year. I think that's like her plan.
I think what we have to do is take the screen protector from the TV, cut it up into like 20
Yeah.
mini screen protectors, and put them on her phone.
This is not racist, but at my work, right next door to us, we have people that fix phones and stuff. And I've been going to them, like they help me with my phone, my screen protector and stuff. It's what they do. But I'm pretty sure they're Russian. And I
don't
didn't
feel
go.
comfortable
I'm not
anymore?
going. I'm out.
Is it like a personal boycott? Are you
think so,
worried
yeah.
you might just happen to be in there getting your phone protected? Someone might throw a Molotov through the window.
Yeah, I'm not cool. I'm good.
I'm with you.
I'm all
You
set.
got to err on the side of caution
If
there.
they're Ukraine, you're fine. You're going.
Yeah, hell yeah.
True. Facts.
Fuck yeah.
Pay him double.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, I was in Portugal, and it's the day it happened, and there was like not riots, there was protests everywhere. And I was like, do I join or do I just continue vacationing? I don't
It's
know what to
sketchy.
do.
Yeah, because it's like, do I not join and then they think I'm an op? Or do I just try to get down from day one? Yeah, it's tricky. I don't know. Shout out to the Ukraine, though.
What are you logging into, bro?
Twitter, try and find some trending topics. You never know.
Oof.
Damn, you started with
us.
Celtics. My fault. I jumped the fucking TV.
But real quick, is the light boxes aren't in the camera shots, are they?
I have no idea.
I'll check real quick.
You want me to go check?
If you can, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go
last
check. What the
podcast,
fuck?
they were like in the corner,
What the fuck?
and it was like you're ruining the shot. Guys, the production value is key.
It's happened.
It's key.
That's it. You want a good product?
No, we're good. All right, hey, here we are. We're live now. Yeah. Look at
we
this.
live without me? Damn,
Do you
bro.
guys believe this? Look, we're talking about iPhones. First,
Yeah,
ad.
they're listening.
First
they're
ad.
listening. They're always listening. Always. Everywhere. At all times.
That's fucked up.
Isn't that weird? Do you guys ever have a time when you're thinking about something, never even like typed it, and it pops up on your phone?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had multiple times where I'm not on my phone, but I'm actually having a conversation. So me and you are talking, our phones are in our pockets. I go to Instagram, first that I see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's just like literally the mics are picking it all up.
You
It's
can you can ask Shan. Last week I asked her, I was like, yo, are you pregnant? And she was like, no. I was like, well, I got like
wow,
3.
that would have been a hell of an announcement for the podcast.
That would have been wild.
Fuck.
Yo, I had 3 like diaper ads.
Yeah,
And I was like, yo,
It's-
what's going on here? I know somebody's talking about
it's
this.
nuts. And that's
It
what
wasn't
it's
me.
Like, yeah, the microchip that was going in everyone's arms is fully active here.
Yeah, I believe that shit.
That could be fun.
Name a retired athlete who can still get buckets today.
That could be fun. They got Jordan there. Jordan can still get buckets. I don't know that he can get buckets just because he's still like athletic, but because he's just so much of a competitor and also just a dick at the end of the day, he's not letting anyone stop it. Like he's
100%.
getting buckets.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, are we talking about like old athletes or like just retired? Like,
Could be.
I don't get because Jamal Crawford can still ball.
Still get buckets.
Why isn't he
So
on the
many
team?
10 days handed out. So how did Jamal Crawford not get a 10 day?
Dude,
How?
it makes no sense.
I don't understand it.
Nobody needs bench scoring.
Like it's crazy.
Everybody needs bench scoring.
It makes no sense. And like I love Lance. Happy Lance
Yeah.
got his 10 day. Happy Isaiah's gotten multiple contracts. But it's like, how does Jamal Crawford not get a 10?
I don't understand how you get these small contracts and then you play. Like Lance, like they're like, I guess we'll bring him in and he'll run our second unit. It's like, wait, what? If he can run your second unit, then what are we
Why
waiting
does he have a
for?
10 day?
And why do you have these guys on the bench? Why are they even on the team if you have no intentions of playing them?
Yeah.
Nah,
Like,
it's been crazy.
I don't get like when Doc Rivers on that Celtics, who does this shit now? He'll sign players like we used to get. You can name a bunch of them. Like who was the white guy who was on the Heat? He came to us. The shooter, number 30.
White guy on the Heat.
Then he came to the
What-
Celtics.
what year?
after.
What year?
Like the 2010 year. We made it to the.
No, because I was just about to say Doug
White
Robinson's
guy.
still on the Heat. But,
It doesn't even matter, dude. We signed him and then we never played him. And Murphy.
Troy Murphy?
Troy Murphy.
Okay.
He was doing good that year. Everybody wanted him. Doc signed him. Never played him. For what fucking reason? Why did we pick him up then? Why are we picking these players with no intention of even playing them? Is it to like take players away from other teams so they're not playing them? So the Heat doesn't pick. Well, the Spurs will pick him up. We might play him in the championship. So let's just not have him play.
yeah, that can never be a strategy. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's-
can never take a roster spot away from yourself to try to take them away from. It's just it never works.
That definitely
More often
happens
than
with the Red Sox Yankees for the record.
No, 100%. And like you see teams do it. Like there might be 1 or to 3% of the time where that actually comes to fruition, where like you grabbing a guy directly affects you, but like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
for the
no,
most
that's-
part. It does not make sense.
Worry about your own
Now,
damn
if
self.
it's someone who is like, Red Sox Yankees, we've seen this a lot more recently, where guys, like Johnny Damon, Jacoby Ellsbury, guys who play well for one go to the other, and they're doing it because they think this is a good player who can add to our team. That makes sense. I
Yeah,
understand that.
right.
But just going and taking a roster spot just to be like essentially a dick, it's not going to work out.
I feel like that's Doc Rivers' fucking move though. He does that shit all the time. There's so many players he never plays.
There's dialogue. I don't know if we get into it here, but there's a lot of dialogue about Doc Rivers and how good of a coach he actually is.
Yes.
I think as the days and minutes go by, he plummets. He's just
Yeah,
he's
his
not
stock
that
is
guy.
dropping.
And I like Doc as a man, great guy, seems like a really good dude, etc. Real strong family ties to Duke, but he's not that guy. He's not. I don't think he's ever been. He's had good runs. He's had good teams. It's worked out well, but for the most part, and I've seen some tweets and different stuff. It's like folks will compare players when they're under him to essentially any other coach in their career, and their numbers are pretty low with Doc compared to most other spots.
Like, how didn't he win with that Clippers big three?
A few times. I mean, even in Boston, they should have won more.
I know.
They should have won more.
Tell
I
me
mean, I
about
know
it.
they were there one more time, and Perk was hurt, and let Perk tell it. They should have won, and
100%.
maybe they should have, but they should be more there.
Did you watch the ceremony for KG?
A bit. I
That shit
popped in
was
and out.
legendary,
I heard
bro.
the pop.
Legendary.
It was like a WrestleMania pop.
It legit
Sick.
was.
And him coming out and just dropping the F-bombs was perfect.
Yeah, it was like when Poppy
was
dropped
so
the
perfect.
F-bomb in
Yeah.
5 seconds. I was like, hopefully KG's real, and obviously he's the most real person that there is in the NBA. That shit was wild.
Yeah.
What was the inspirational shit? Oh, he said, you can't, your superpower line. Did you hear the superpower line?
No.
Man, he said, like, his shit was like, you can't teach, or you can't, the person with superpowers can't be taught, or some shit like that. It was like, you can't
It's like an innate
teach
thing, you
what
just
to
need to
do
have
with
it.
this. Right, like, how many people have a superpower,
Yeah.
which for him was like his energy. So he's like, who the fuck do I go to to learn how to use my energy.
Yeah.
Nobody. I'm the only one that has this.
True.
So he said he even said he had like dark moments trying to like figure out how to like bottle it because he was like, I feel tapped. So he's he figured out how to bottle it up, and it was like positive for his game.
And it makes sense because you can see like throughout his career, obviously young KG was a monster in Minnesota, but he was far from a finished product in the sense of just being able to control himself, being able to, you know, dictate the game, let the game dictate how you're going to react in certain situations, etc. Not getting away from himself. But in Boston is really when that came, you know. And I saw so many folks, I don't know if you were one of them, I saw so many people who were like, listen, folks, like, sorry, Minnesota, he's one of ours. Like, he's Boston.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's like, for the longest time, I think I wanted to fight that because I was like, nah, man, KG in Minnesota was, like, different. And he did so much, but it's true.
Right.
Like, it's Boston.
But he is when you look, you know how on Instagram they've been posting, like, who do you think of when you see this logo? Timberwolves. It's either him or Love, right?
Yeah. It's yeah.
You don't think Carl Anthony Towns?
You can see Cat now. Part of me like Marbury. I see Marbury a bit, but
I see KG.
Yeah, it is KG, but I think that's more indicative of the franchise.
Yeah,
because like if you can say in Boston, you directly correlate KG, not even first, but in the top handful of names. That's crazy because of how many stars have been in Boston over the years. But then you look at Minnesota, it's the opposite. It's literally KG and a handful of other guys.
Right.
Get off that. What do you guys, if you have to judge yourself, what do you think your superpower is? Because if that hits you hard, you must have been like, "Yo, that's touching me. That's hitting my heart." What do you think is hard to like that KG line? What do you find for yourself?
I think the point of KG saying that was that like not everybody has that, and like so he's like, when I do have a superpower, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
Like, how do I learn to use it? I don't think I have a superpower.
I think you do.
Oh shit!
I think you do.
This pod's getting real.
Do you have one for him?
I'm ready. I'm listening. I'm sitting down.
That your business sense. A lot of people don't have that. You're out here. You're hustling.
Do you have a business acumen?
A drive?
You absolutely do.
But that's a superpower.
But it's more than a drive, though.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like, it's just, you can have a drive and a passion, and that's going to get you far in life. It can get you really far. But like, you still got to have that innate ability to know which decision to make.
Yeah.
In the moment, in time, throughout, just over time. Like, you have to have that.
Oh wow, I respect that. Thank you.
Word.
Yeah,
I hope so. We can talk about this on 7 podcasts. We can talk business for 9 hours. I'm down.
Yeah, and like that, dude. That's a superpower in itself because, like he just said, you still have a lot of people have the business acumen, but they're not putting that into work. You're doing it. Brent do it. He's doing it. So I think legit, like you're like legit, like your social media name. Everyone's talking about doing shit, but I think all 3 of us here, we're doing it, and I like how we like conduct ourselves too. Because you're not here, you're not like flaunting it, but dude, you're doing your thing, and I definitely respect the shit out of it. I think that's where we have that mutual respect with each other, like the business side, and where we like connect on that side.
Those
of it,
are the people that I connect with the best too. Like my work, I work with 5 other guys, and literally I work with them because they are on the same drive as me, and that's why we're succeeding, because we are all the same mentality. And that's why, like, when you talk business, I'm like, oh baby, I'm excited because you have a drive too.
And that being said, guys, we said it. I don't know if you thought I was joking, but legit, you guys might not know, but Brett, legit, I can say, is like an Amazon guru. That's his job. When I get a little into it, he works selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of people. I feel people hear that, they're like, how? That sounds cool, but that's bullshit. You hear that from all, like, you probably get that all the time. What do you do? Sell on Amazon, and people are probably like, okay.
That's exactly what people
just
do.
Throwing like one-offs.
Yeah, they think I'm selling on eBay. They think I'm like selling like 3 things a week on eBay. But,
yeah, I mean,
which you are.
Yeah, I do that too.
That's
Yeah,
a whole nother lane. That's a whole nother lane.
Obviously, you do want to talk about that.
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, we can talk Amazon forever, but
I heard wrong what you said beginning before.
Oh no.
Yeah, so even when you're doing that shit, like, I don't know. So you want to get a little bit more into that. So like we kind of brought into it. So what are you selling on Amazon? What are you comfortable talking about? And like how, just like the basics of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, like when I describe what I do, I always say like, I don't know how many people understand Amazon. Maybe it's more now. Obviously I've been doing it for a while now. So maybe you understand Amazon more, but basically,
I think the pandemic helped there too.
Yeah,
so many like that
wildly.
was the go-to. So
Yeah,
like I'm sure you all reaped some benefits, but just in general, like people's understanding and knowledge, I'm sure it's grown.
Right. So when you buy something on Amazon, right? 5% of the items on Amazon, you'll recognize the brand, right? So if you go buy a TV on Amazon, you're buying a Sony TV. You might buy it from Amazon or from like Sony or a big company. You know what you're buying. The other 95% of things you buy on Amazon, when you don't recognize the brand, it's people like me and Effie selling you the product. So my company, we were flipping sneakers for a long time on Amazon. That's how we started, clothing and sneakers. Now we make our own stuff. We make our own toys. We do a lot of grocery. Like Josh said, he knows that during the pandemic, we had trouble getting clothing and sneakers from suppliers, just like everybody was.
That one boat fucked it all up.
Yeah.
It's still stuck.
So we switched over to a lot of grocery during the pandemic. It's a terrible thing for many people. It made our business boom. We had our biggest year during the pandemic.
Wait, so I've never even asked you about the food. It's essentially the same thing as like making lights or stands or getting it from
Food?
overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same concept. There's other things that go into it, like, expiration dates, and making your own food is dicey because you definitely want to make sure it's safe. Like, I make toys and we have to get certifications for toys and stuff, but if you make food, it's literally going into people's bodies. There's definitely, you need to make sure you check all your boxes and stuff.
Killing
But if
folks
you're,
is not going to help the reviews.
no, definitely not. But if you're flipping food, which you can do, it's the same exact
It's
concept.
so crazy that like flipping, like you say that and it's such a casual thing, like
Yeah.
flipping food. Like a few years ago, like just a few years ago, like people would hear flipping food, like what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Like flipping food. How are you flipping food? Like, are you like selling your, are you selling your food stamps for cash? Is that what you mean by flipping food? Like,
Yeah.
no, like it's crazy that that's a normal thing.
Yeah, and the reason is because Amazon's such a massive platform that people don't even shop in other places. So I can flip on Amazon because if grandma down the street wants something and she has an Amazon Prime account, she just goes on Amazon and buys it. She's
Yeah.
not.
She might have it that night.
Right. And so, like, there's a zillion things in the world where I can ask you, like, okay, like, there's a big light right here. How much does this light cost, Josh? You have no idea.
No clue.
Right.
Couldn't
but if
tell
you
you.
want it, you're going to go on Amazon, you're going to buy it.
Absolutely, and that's that's like the first place I'm gonna look.
Right.
If,
You're gonna
if
say-
I don't go to Google I'm either going to Google or Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I have an Amazon account, I'm probably gonna go there first.
Right.
And
So
what
if
are
you
you
see
gonna say? You're gonna say, Brett, send me that link. You're not even gonna look it up. You're gonna buy it.
Yep. And so, like, if I can manufacture this light and it's for you, you're like, oh, $39.99. What a steal.
Yeah,
Sure, I love
sure.
it. But I'm like,
And it could
this
be
just
worth
cost me-
$4.
Exactly. I just made it for $4.
Yep.
Like, you're
Right.
crazy. But that's how I make my living, bro.
It's crazy. Everything. Well, separate. Oh, actually, not these mics. I have other mics though. So everything else, stand, other mics, lights, everything else, bought on Amazon. Literally bought on Amazon.
It runs
Yep.
the world, man. It really does. And like you can
Headphones.
feel how you feel about like Jeff Bezos, but like, yo, the dude is a fucking genius.
If I'm
It's genius.
if for the rest of my life I'm not selling on Amazon, then somewhere I fucked up big time.
Right.
Like something massively terrible happened.
So when you're at, say, I'm a person on the street, blah 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 blah, family friend. Hey, Brett, you sell on Amazon? Okay. Do you get that look? Are you even like mad, or you're like, all right, go fuck yourself? Like, do you feel like disrespected at all? Like, that's what people think of you? Because
Yeah,
you're definitely getting that.
We do, yeah, for sure. We definitely consistently, like, even when I reach out to suppliers, right? If I reach out to a wholesaler, they want to know, like, okay, what major company are you from?
Yeah.
I have to say, like, oh, I sell on Amazon. So what we do is we typically drop our biggest revenue year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we say, like, well, we did.
hit 'em with the analytics, baby.
Yeah, we say, okay, we did $10 million in sales. You know, so we're a $10 million, and they're like, oh, okay, shit. So he's legit. Like, we're a company. There's companies that don't do $10 million that they do business with. So if you can do $10 million, okay, you're legit.
But I'm saying in essence of like people in person, though, like say like Shannon's family or anybody in the street. Like, are you feeling disrespected to like the casual person? Like, you know, if you say, "Oh, I'm a lawyer," people are like, "Oh, okay, he's
Right,
a lawyer." You
shit.
gotta have respect.
Right.
But
And you could be a terrible fucking lawyer
yeah,
and
but
not do anything.
People respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I tell people like, "Oh, it's on Amazon," like they'll ask or whatever. Like, I saw on Amazon. They don't ask questions. They're like, no, whatever. Like you said, eBay seller.
Right. Exactly. No.
So are you feeling disrespected? You're like, all right, I'm making money. I don't give a fuck.
It is. It definitely is kind of annoying. It's definitely like a shot, but I don't know. I just take it. And there's probably a zillion jobs where people can say what they do. I'm sure trashmen are like, I make mad money. What the hell?
Facts.
But I'm sure there's many jobs where people have a legit, well-paying job, and they're like, or and vice versa. I'm sure there's mad doctors who aren't getting paid what they should. So I think it goes both ways. But yeah, I feel it a little bit. Also, like, yo, it's the game's changing. I don't know if I talked to you about it, but like, it's definitely growing. Like Amazon accounts that do good. So like I just have an Amazon account that does good. I have my personal and my work. And it's growing where like companies are starting to realize that these numbers are real and they're starting to buy Amazon companies.
Yeah, 100%. Like you, and hopefully this might not be what you want, but there is absolutely, I'm fully confident in the next handful of years, a huge place is going to come to me and be like, yeah, we'll take it all. Here's the check. We're taking it all.
That's the end goal. I'm letting you know now, I'm here to cash out.
Yeah.
I am not in this bitch for the long haul. I am cashing out. I am selling my soul as soon as possible.
What's up? Yeah, people were like,
there's another one, and then it's the next idea.
Yeah.
And then boom, we do that for 10 years.
Yeah, and
then
the next
we flip
one,
it. Like,
that's
what it is.
The next one is less worrisome because I'm cashing out on the first one. So
I told Brad, I'm like, y'all sell Brandon if they want him. Fuck, how much he's taking?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a little introduction to Brett Do It. Flanny, what do you think your superpower is?
Oh boy,
Jesus Christ.
Dapping people up.
Dapping people up. I know. I can't go anywhere. Anywhere I go with Brett, it's like he has the hand sanitizer on deck. Like literally, we'll be somewhere. We'll be at a party at a day trail. Shout out to my folks, and we'll be there together. And I'm dapping, and he's just like, literally, here's the sanitizer. Like, here you go. What do you need? I don't know. I would say, probably my communication. Yeah, I think if there's a superpower, I think I can communicate pretty well.
We sat Flanny in the middle because he has the face. Everybody knows him. We need to get him visible. So like that's definitely a thing. I want him to be on the pod. I'm riding his coattails on this podcast. That's why I'm on.
We went somewhere one time and Daimar was like, "This guy knows everybody. So if you need someone, bring him." I'm like, "Oh, podcast."
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, some people ask me, like, I think Bressy's like, "Yo, like, is it a burden? Like, is it just too much when you go play?" And even Daimar too, like, she's the opposite in sense of like, she's a little bit more like incognito. Like we can go somewhere like, if I know some folks, that's cool, but like, I'm just gonna do my thing. And like I like to do that too as well, but like I have no problem talking to anyone. Like I'll talk to the guy on the street, I'll talk to, like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like I think I've kind of like positioned myself that way to feel like I can talk to anyone, be in any room, have any sort of conversation. Like, she always jokes that I know, well, not even jokes, but she's like, "Yo, you know a little bit about a lot." And I'm like, I prefer that. Like, I know there's folks who know a lot about a little bit, but I think for me, it's like, I want to know a little bit about a lot. That's where I feel like I'm at my best.
Facts. I mean, I feel like the first time I met you, I felt like I knew you for the longest time. Like, you have that connection where you make people feel comfortable, and man, that's definitely a superpower because a lot of people don't have that. I feel like once you have that, you don't even notice that you're talking to everybody, you're mingling, you meet this person, person.
It's second nature. It is. It really second nature. And I think it's so important, for work, what my career is, working with young students and high school age students, and just working with first generation students who want to go to college and who are trying to figure it out. And that's the one thing I always hammer home is like, yo, you got to be able to talk to people.
Bags.
It doesn't matter where you go, where the world takes you, what you're trying to accomplish, you need to be able to communicate. You got to be able to do that in many different ways too. Like you got to be able to compose an email. You got to be able to, maybe, put together like an offer letter, an offer sheet, or so you got to be able to get on the phone and have a cold call with someone you don't know anything about, you've never met, and you got to be able to like pick up on those little cues to know how to leverage that conversation to get what you want.
Where do you feel that comfortability came from? Coming from like inner city, a lot of kids sometimes they don't have that ability to distinguish being hip for your friends, cool, trying to fit in, be cultured, and then have that ability to be professional and conduct an email, conduct yourself professionally.
Mom.
Facts. He knows. He 100%. It's 100% for mom. And I think the part you mentioned is important is like inner city or just like people of color. They look at that. It's like a stigma.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be able to do that, or like, oh, you might be a sellout because you're doing this. Like, nah, that's not how it works. Like, but it 100% comes from my mom. Like, she is the same type of person, can talk to anyone, can be in any sort of room, can carry a conversation. Like, she's just comfortable in that. So I think I literally directly got that from her and just ran with it from a young age. Like, I think it was, I had a really cool upbringing in terms of like my family is very diverse. Like, I'm half Puerto Rican, I'm half Irish. And I'm half Irish. Yeah, there it is. Bury the lead on that one. But and then my brother is Cape Verdean, so I was around so many different cultures and environments and different things as a kid. Like that I just took a little bit from everything and everyone that I encountered, and like that's kind of how I composed myself and figured out, who I'm going to be, what I'm going to be about, morals, values, those types of things. And I think it's important, like the earlier you can do that, because it has to happen. And I think for everyone it happens at different points.
Did you ever feel any type of way, like being from Pawtucket, going to Shea? Did you ever feel like you had to live up some type of expectation, like join a gang or be that type of like thug or like gangster personality? Like I've never got that vibe from you. So like, but sometimes kids feed into that, especially being in the city. Like, oh, I gotta showcase to my friends. You just never had that ever growing up.
Never. I never felt the pressure. The pressure's there. It's always there. And I mean, I could I be in school or be in high school and literally, be walking through the hallways and dap up the quote unquote nerds who, nobody really talks to and really deals with, who I was able to build connections and have relationships with, then the athletes, then, anyone from any background. And like, in terms of the pressure is there and it's prevalent, but it never affected me. And I also, I guess the friends I had, the company I kept, I want to say they protected me from that, but they always knew like I could hang out with folks. I could be at football, baseball practice, hanging out with folks. They might be going to get into something, and they know better than to even extend the offer. They're like, yeah, that's not him. That's not what he's about. Like, we'll catch him tomorrow. Like that. So I think just again, communication, connections, like letting folks know, like, hey, like if we're out somewhere and we get into something, like I got your back. But also like if you're like going and looking for stuff and trying to get into things or trying to do like that's just not me. It's different, and I think that's important. And a lot of people definitely feel the pressure. And I've had friends and folks who've kind of crumbled under that pressure, and it's unfortunate because you see where life may have taken them. But it's like you just have to. At the end of the day, it's like not selfish, but like you have to take care of you. Like at the end of the day, the only person that is obligated to take care of you is you. Like it's great to have a great circle and a support system, and that's necessary. But like you have to be thinking at the end of the day, okay, how do I position myself? How am I comfortable? What can I do? What's good for me? What's bad for me? And again, like there's a lot that goes into that, but you have to be thinking from that standpoint of like, okay, I got to make sure I'm taking care of myself before I think of taking care of everyone else.
You can go.
I'm just going to say, unlike Flanny, I'm about the life.
Oh,
facts. Facts.
Brett does it.
Facts. He's the guy who, after practice, is going to get into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out.
Yo, I actually experienced this like 2-3 weeks ago with Shan's sister and Shan. Like, we were in a drunk hitting car accident situation. Did I tell you about this?
No, God.
Yo, wild. But anyways, long story short, I was about the life. Only because I had guys around me. Don't get it twisted. I'm not about the life. But I will pretend like I am about the life because I know I'm with Josh, I'm with Effie, I'm with El Ray, I'm with Steve. Steve is ready to rock. So that's why I pretend I'm about the life. I get in somebody's face. So I know Josh is there. I got in the guy's face a little bit. Guy got in my face a little bit. And nobody was coming.
Yeah.
The other dudes that I didn't really know, I'm like, oh, they might not do what Josh does.
and that's the thing. It's like when, because like obviously if we're together, like you have that sense of comfort.
100%.
There's certain folks you can be around. And I try to keep I keep a small circle. I know a lot of people, but I do keep a small circle in the sense of like there's some folks who I might be out and like can mingle with and hang out with, but like if some shit goes left, those probably aren't the people who are going to be in my foxhole. Yeah. But the people who you're with, and you're like, you know what, like you feel, and it's probably not a good thing, but you have kind of like that sense of invincibility. I'm like, I'm with my people. I know I'm going to be good.
Yep.
And it's like, sometimes it plays out and, it can go left, but for the most part, you feel comfortable, you feel good.
100%.
Flanny takes his watch off like twice a year.
If that.
And
that's the sign.
It's not great.
That's how you know, like I'm really upset because at the end of the day, I'm thinking like, fuck, I don't want to fuck up my watch. Yeah. Like I don't even whatever bullshit's happening, I don't fuck up my watch. But if the watch comes off, that's like, oh shit, okay. It's like, very rare. It's very rare.
Both are for me.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it. Give me. I'll put the watch on.
That being said, like, so you said like you don't take care of yourself and stuff like that. Is that where maybe you? Being in the city, knowing that situation, is that where you felt, all right, let me give back to the community? And so is that where it came from, where you want to give back and help people out in those scenarios where they don't have that confidence in themselves to feel obligated to like to know what's right and wrong. So you want to help them decide what's right and wrong.
100%. And I still to this day feel like that's my obligation. Like I'm obligated to do that because I had folks, thankfully, older than me who did the same thing for me. Family, non-family, just friends, folks who I grew up with. I grew up in an apartment complex. So there was, dozens of us who literally from the time we were in diapers to the time we were in high school were running around together. And the older groups would always look out for the young groups, and it just continued on. And I think that's in general how it's supposed to be, you know, in community, within groups. So like I always felt like that was an obligation. I didn't know it was gonna happen through like the lens of education. I didn't know if it was gonna be my career, but I always knew it was gonna happen in some sense, because I just think it's important. Like I feel like it's my obligation. Whatever I know, I need to pass that on.
Do you have
to make it better?
Siblings?
Yeah, yep. I have an older brother and an older sister.
Do you think that played into it? I mean, I don't know that dynamic at all. I mean, so were they there for you, and like did that help you out as well?
100%. I mean, my dad wasn't in my life, so my brother was essentially that father figure for me. So, and he's 12 years older than me. So it was very easy to see where he was at a very young age and see what he was doing, even just how he would handle things. He's very, very calm, super, super cool demeanor. Like in a lot of ways, we're polar opposites, but our morals and values are the same. The way we carry ourselves, like. Diamond jokes all the time. She's like, yo, you're just like your brother. And I don't see it at all, because it's more internal stuff. It's just how we handle things, either internally or how we approach things. It's just the way it might sound or look is a little different, but we still like the same.
Put those values into you, which made you want to get back now. So Brett, being like an only child, how do you think, do you consider like your friends, like your siblings, like your brothers and stuff like that? And like how'd that growing up? Like,
yo, that's a great question. Shan, my fiance, has three and a half sisters, and I don't even understand how she lives her life. It's wild. I mean, like people always ask, like, yo, like who did you play with when you were a kid? And like I literally, my pops was my best friend from my entire childhood, and then beyond that, it was just like I just started having friends, and you know, my mom's been my
shout out to mom.
Yeah, my mom, you know, my entire life, everybody knows what their mom is for them. So I learned so much from Shan and her family recently. It's like I don't even understand the sibling relationship. I have to share stuff. I'm like, wait, what?
So everything just internal. You're keeping everything aside to yourself.
I deal with everything myself. I talk to myself. I walk around, like if Shan's not home, I walk around and like talk to myself all the time.
I do that all day.
I'm like, that's how I lived. I played with my. Whoa, pause. I literally, like, I would, like, go into my room and play by myself all the time. And, like, I had to make shit up and make friends up, and I just dealt with it. And then, like, now I get older and I talk to myself and I'm like, oh, wait, like.
Because you're so used to just talking yourself through something.
Yeah, I'm like, these are my friends. Like, it's in my head.
Yeah, like, I don't have to say this to myself. I can just pick up the phone and send a text or a phone call. But and I do that, too, because I think, in a sense, being the fact that my brother was 12 years older than me, there was not a disconnect, but like there were certain points in his life like I couldn't even understand, right? Or like, you know, when I'm watching fucking Monday Night Raw as a 6-year-old and like he's 18, like he's probably not gonna sit down and watch with me. So like there was different sorts of things where like I would have a little bit of that kind of only sibling, only child type of thing, but then again it was like where I grew up, I had a lot of cousins who literally were like right down the street from me, or even at one point we were in a 3 family and it was all family. So like that was always there for me, which was nice, because I think for some people it's not, and then you figure that out as you get older, you process that and you kind of figure out what works for you.
Being a single child, do you think it was like difficult to make friends like that way, just because like maybe you had that more talking to yourself, you're like you said, playing by yourself and to pause? And like, do you think like sometimes, I don't know, like I feel like when we hit it off, like when we first met, even with Elray, like we didn't get along. I always thought like, I don't know if Brett likes me or not. This is talking about high school days. Do you feel like sometimes you have like those prejudgments on people just because you didn't have that like easier?
There's definitely things that I'm not good at, and like I'm friends, best friends with Mike Mooney, because he's an only child. We have a lot of things that we're kind of similar. And like if I don't get my way, whereas most people are like, all right, I guess we're doing somebody else's thing. I'm like, wait, no, this isn't what this is me. Like, I'm supposed to be doing my thing. Mike's like that too. Getting along with people though, I don't know. I think I get along with people, and I definitely, I'm outgoing too, like Josh, in terms of just like speaking to people and stuff. So I don't think I have a problem talking to people, but definitely like talking to people all the time, expressing myself to people, that I definitely don't do.
And I think too, just thinking through like community, right? Like family and Little League, like that for a lot of people. Like even I think of only child and folks who didn't have folks around. Like that was it. Like that was the replacement, or that was the place where it's like, yo, I'm on a team. So like I'm on a team. Those are my people, and like there's guys on the team, there's girls on the team. Like these are my folks. These are my people. The coaches, like that. That's someone I look up to. That's someone who looks out for me. So I think, even if you don't necessarily have that in your house, if you can have that in your orbit, like it goes a long way. It really does.
It's mad weird to me that people play Little League or even any young sport, and they're not like they're not still friends, and I'm like, I don't even understand how that's possible because all my friends come from there, like Mike, Chris, you, Nick. Like I just get all my friends from Little League. I'm like, those are where I made my best friends. Where the hell else am I supposed to do them? School's whack as fuck.
Oh, you're talking about being a single child, or just in general?
Yeah, just being. I mean, anything. I guess being an only child, and like that's where I like. Those are where I found friends.
Yeah.
Like Shan, her her sister's going to be her maid of honor, and vice versa. Shan's going to be the maid of honor for her sister next month. I'm like, you just get handed a friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had to go hunt mine down.
You got built-in.
I had to go find mine. What the hell?
Do you feel like jealous about that at any point? Like, damn. Like I wish I had.
You know what blew my mind? Like, I don't even know. I found this out like 5 years ago. Somebody was like, yo, when your parents get old, like, who's going to take care of them? And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. That's only me.
That's
only me.
It's a real
like,
thing.
it's not like me and my brother split the freaking bill and all the time.
You got
It's
the
just
odds
me.
days. I got the evens. Like,
Right. And so at the time when I found this out, my parents, I had my dad alive, my mom, and their significant. So I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. There's 4 people, not 2. There's 4 people that my stepfather. I'm like, that's me.
you're like, I definitely have to cash out now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because I got to put them in a home. If not, they're living with me.
I'm like, yo, this is gonna be an expensive life.
But I think that also makes you like who you are, though. Like you said, like you're gonna stick to like your guns no matter what, and that definitely helped you down the line. I feel like in business, because like you have to have that like confidence in yourself. Like I'm doing this shit no matter what. Who's with me? Who's not with me? And like you definitely need that sense of like that mentality with what you're doing. You can't be second guessing yourself, and if you have that mindset, you're gonna do it, and that's made you who you are today, though.
The best part, the entire reason that I do what I do for work is because like the entire concept, the entire point is that I am essentially betting on myself. That's my entire job. I'm betting on myself. If I work hard, I'm gonna make bad money, and if I don't, I'm not. But I know I'm going to. And that's the benefit of doing what I do.
And that's important because I think for some people, they're not comfortable there and they can't live with that. Like that's too much of not a burden, but like they're not comfortable in that space. And I think you have to be. And that's why like you even said it better than I was trying to say earlier in terms of like at the end of the day, it's you. And I think for that reason, it's important because it's like, yo, you can depend on yourself. Like you can always depend on yourself. Like, but you have to be comfortable doing that. There's a lot of folks who are not comfortable doing that. And I think even now, like I know mental health is super, super important. And I think that's one of those spaces where it's like, you got to be comfortable being in a room with just you. And a lot of people aren't comfortable being in a room with just them because they don't like who they are in that setting. They might like it in a room full of 500 people, but they don't like themselves when they're alone. And it's like, if you don't get to that point, things are going to be tough for you.
That's crazy. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, oh, you're traveling, who you going with? Myself. And people are like, what? Myself? Like, is that crazy? People are like, I couldn't do that myself. I'm like, I feel comfortable by myself.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I like my own company.
Yep.
And it's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
And it's not because you have to travel alone. It's just because that's what you want to do. You want to experience that. It might be a little easier. It might make more sense. But there's people who literally wouldn't even, like people who can't even go down the street by themselves.
To me, I don't even think of it like that way. It doesn't even process through my mind. Like I've never thought about it like that. So I guess when you have that mind, it's different. Like that's the other side's foreign to me. Like, what? You want to go to the movies by yourself? You want to go to like a restaurant by yourself? Because I'm going out. I'm doing everything. I'm going to the games by myself. I'm going and checking out museums. I'm doing random shit by myself. And it's like, yeah, it's just that's second nature to me.
When I go thrifting, I listen to a podcast or I listen to music, and like a new album comes out, I'm like, this is gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna have 3 hours.
Yeah, like you're looking forward. So you're like planning
it.
ahead on the calendar. Like, yes, I get to take 4 hours this day and just block out the world, and it's just me. Like,
absolutely, it's my favorite.
You gotta have that, and especially I think too, like in our cases where we're both engaged, like we obviously live with our fiancés. It's like you love them, you want to be around them all the time, you want to have that, but you also need to have that that space, but you got to be open to having those moments where it's like you're either comfortable on your own or either like you're comfortable expressing that you want to be on your own.
Yeah.
Like, hey, cool. Like you go out, cool. You do that. I'm going to do this. Like, that's cool.
My house setup is because I'm an only child. I have 2 viewing rooms, 2 TV rooms. We did peel the TVs. Like we peeled the sticker off.
Day one.
Yeah, hell yeah, day one, you lunatic. But yeah, like literally, we have separate rooms because I'm an only child. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the Celtics game. it's selfish to make you watch it, so I'm gonna just give you your own space, and I'm gonna have my own space. And
Do you have separate bedrooms?
no, hell no.
Hell no. Al's coming on. This is a topic we want to touch on, actually.
It's a big topic.
He's
these
like,
days.
I'm having separate rooms. And I'm like, Facebook like that. I'm sharing that.
For the record,
on that
when I say hell no, that's because Shan might listen to this. I would not be opposed to it. Honestly, we do a good job of like saying on the other side of the bed. We just started looking into king size beds recently. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
Not that
California
we
king.
we don't have an issue with it, but again, only child, that would not be the worst case scenario for me.
Yeah, same with us. I mean, like we have the option if we have multiple rooms, so we have the option if we want to do that. That's not something we ever want to do. I think it's important to have space, right? Like you were talking earlier about certain rooms in your house that are like just your rooms for you. And I think it's important to have those spaces. Like every day, like, and it's funny because we have a storage closet where we live, and it's just full with just random shit. Like, and it's all random like sports shit, memorabilia, jerseys, balls, all these different things, right? And it's like she's like, "What are you doing?" So I'm like, "Yeah, because when I get my dream house, this is all gonna be in my man cave.
100%.
Like all of this is happening." And she's like, "Yeah, but like." That's not happening now. And I'm like, cuz I have the vision is fully baked. And I'm like, this is what we're doing. And that's going to be my space. Like I have my space and she'll have her space. Like we'll have multiple spaces, but it is a very hot topic thing these days. And I have friends who will agree with Elle and be like, yeah, when I get married, I'm going to have a separate house. Like we're going to have 2 properties, like literally a separate property, like maybe on the same plot of land or maybe next door, whatever. But like we're going to have separate property. Doesn't mean we're going to just exclusively
separate spouses. Fuck it.
But like we're not going to exclusively live in 2 separate houses, but we have that if we need it. And
checkmate. Different beds now.
Different houses. And I have people I know are like, yeah, like that's my plan. Like if I can't find a woman or a man who's going to be comfortable with that, I'm not comfortable with that.
Hey, that's big ball type shit. But honestly, like, all right, if I was talking to a girl and she was like, I want to buy my own house. This is my house. It's under my name. If she wants to buy one, why am I going to be like, no? You can buy one. Why fucking not?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, do your own thing. I mean, I'm not gonna hold anybody back for like what they want to do. So if they want to do that, and we have 2 separate houses. Why not? It's better for both of us then. Like, if we can sleep in fucking Cranston today, we can fucking sleep in Cumberland tomorrow. Right. I mean, it's just building down the line because that's an investment for her down the line. If she ever wants to flip and make money, like that's like Shannon telling, no, you can't buy Amazon shit. No, it's essentially the same as different type of investments.
Right.
So I mean. I'm not an only child, but I've always had my own bed. So that concept was like, damn, I've always slept by myself for about 30 years this time. Now I'm going to sleep with someone else for the next 20 years of my life.
It's scary. It was scary committing
California
to that
king seems like he's going to be.
I will say the one thing that makes it a little easier is like just college. Like having to share a twin extra long bed with a whole nother human being. Like now, like you said, you're looking at the king, and it's like even the queen. I'm like, yo, this can work because if you can make that work in college, like you'll make it work.
The reason I didn't go away for college was because of that. I can't even, only child. There's no way in hell I'm sharing my space like that with somebody.
It's so sketchy. And like shout out to my man Drew, who's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday! Like
happy birthday, brother.
It's hard to find a good roommate. It's such a hard thing to do, like, because there's just so much that goes into it. Like, there's the privacy, there's the safety, there's so many different things. Yeah, etiquette, and everyone's etiquette's different. And I think I had to learn that the hard way in college. Like, yeah, like everything I've learned, like that's not the only way to do things. Like, obviously, that's my preference, and I'm like a clean freak and those sorts of things. But like, my normal is not the next person's normal. And it's like, that doesn't mean one's good or one's bad, but it's like, all right, cool. Like, what's the middle ground? Like, what are we compromising on? Like, I give you this, but I need that. Like, it's not easy.
In New Orleans, I had a suite mate. This dude was from Nigeria, super into church, super religious. Every Sunday at like 2 a.m., he was having service in his room. And I'm like, dude.
What does that look like?
He was zooming. He had the door closed.
Oh, he was like hosting service.
Yes, he was like hosting it.
2 a.m. because 2 a.m. it was that time back home.
Whatever, it's 2 a.m. But maybe like 2 p.m. I don't know what the fuck. I was sleeping, so it was like 2 a.m. I'm like,
or it could be 2 p.m.
Maybe in college, and who knows. But either way, I'm like, dude, you can't have to lower the volume. I'm trying to sleep. He's like, oh, sorry, man, I'm hosting church. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
Put headphones on or something.
Yeah. Or maybe you find another place where you can go and you can have your setup there, or maybe you even just configure some things in your room to like keep some of it. Like there's ways to make it work.
Said, just like the etiquette, dude. I had literally like 8 different roommates. It's so stupid shit. Like you're going to bed.
He cranks the heat. I wake up, I'm sweating. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I lower the heat, wake up again, he's blasting again. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? And he's like, dude, it's cold. Like, it's fucking 86 degrees in here, dude. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's not even like exaggerating. It was like fucking like 84. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
It's tough. I had a roommate once in college. This was towards the end, and it was like an apartment, so we had like our own apartment on campus. You know, had a full kitchen, couch, everything. It was a nice little setup, and I wasn't supposed to room my house. It was a room with somebody else, and then that person ended up getting a different space off campus. So I kind of just got stuck with this kid, and he was this rich white kid from New Jersey, like pulled up on day one in like literally a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee, like fresh off the lot. And he was just like so out of it, and I'm like, he was there with his parents. They're moving him in where everybody leaves. Parents were great, they were nice, and I'm like, he just like slept for like 3 days. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this kid? And at that time he wasn't bothering me, but also I'm like, fam, I don't know that I've seen you shower in the last couple of days. Like, can we do that? And he was just so out of it, and then he just opened up to me. He's like, yeah, I just got out of rehab. He's like, I've been in rehab for the last 6 months. He's like, last semester I got addicted to all sorts of Adderalls and all these different things. He's like, I've been in rehab. And I'm like, all right. So at that point, I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. Like, let me not be a dick here. Like, what can I do to help you? Yeah. But then as the days went on, and this is within like a few weeks, man, like he just got worse and was like literally was not doing anything, but then also just became an asshole. I'm like, all right, it's cool if like you're struggling, but like you're not going to be a dick and struggling. Like, I'm not putting up with both of those. And it got to the point where we were literally like on the verge of like fighting. He was so bad, his family had to like come back, take him away, bring him back to like the rehab space because he just was in such a rough spot. And I felt so bad because his dad was like, I could see the pain is that he was like apologizing on behalf of the kid, and I'm like, yo, don't even worry about it. Like, clearly he got some other stuff that's way more important right now, but it's like sometimes stuff like that is happening, you can't see it and you don't know, but then sometimes people are just fucking assholes. Like, bro. People are just assholes.
Brett's like, thank God I didn't have a room on campus.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I can't. I just went away for work, and I pay a little extra to make sure I get my own room because they're like, oh, we got huge rooms. I'm like, nah. I ended up getting a suite, so that was lucky. But like, I have to have my own room. I was dreading even just staying with Josh recently. Yeah, and Josh is one of my best friends, and I'm like, nah.
How was Fox with you? Like, oh god damn, I might drive back and forth.
Yo, what did I learn about you? What was that wild shit I learned? Cologne? Was it the cologne?
Cologne?
Wasn't there some shit like, don't you do something like 16 times? Oh, deodorant.
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck?
I do so many, especially now summer coming back. Like, I'm like if we go up down 1, I'm like hitting 30.
Damn.
I'm like I just, especially like if I'm going to work, right? So if I start my day, I'm going to work like 9 to 5 type of thing, and then Lord knows I'm usually coming home after work, but say I gotta go somewhere, I'm like, yo, I always gotta be ready. I keep deodorant and like some sanitary wipes, different stuff in the car just in case. You never know where life takes you. But like, I'm just, and that's like literally I will count it. Like, I'm never throwing it on, and like I will literally count it to make sure I'm getting the same on both. It's not normal.
Am I doing this wrong?
The thing is, like,
I question that
internally, and like Daimon, maybe he's like, yo, you must love doing that shit. I'm like, no, I don't love it, but I just can't. I can't not do it.
You count other things?
It's everything. I count everything. Like, if I were to tap this table once, if I don't tap it again, it would fuck with me until I tap it again. Like, my mind just does those things, and it's again not anything I control. Not a bad thing, but like literally, I have little things like that. Like, if I do things, I'm about like symmetry and numbers and like different things.
But girls like a clean guy though.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
100%. But even me, like, none of my hygiene ever, my whole life has ever been for a female. Never. It's just strictly because I can't imagine functioning otherwise. Yeah. Like, and I've had, females in my life who are like maybe not as clean as me, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
You're lying.
But no, for real. But for me, and I think it's because my threshold is so high. So I'm like, if you're coming in under me, you can still be at like the 99th percentile. So that's okay.
I'm pretty sure Daimar is like, yo, this guy is crazy.
Oh yeah, she thinks I'm nuts. She thinks I'm nuts.
No, but she likes it though, because, dude, I've talked to girls like, I've talked like girlfriends, like friends who are girls. They're like, I've talked to guys going on dates, and this guy's fucking not groomed, smells like shit. Why the fuck would I want to be with this guy? You have to come in to impress the girl. And me and G were talking about this on the last podcast. A lot of guys don't put that consideration in. They want a baddie, but they're not putting the work in themselves. They're not hitting the gym. They're not getting haircuts. They're letting their fucking beard come down to here. They're not fucking like keeping up with themselves. Over here. So it's like, bro, you gotta, if you want a bad chick, you gotta also bring your game to the table.
Yeah, 100% goes both ways. 100%. And I think I think more now. I don't know if folks are understanding it more, but I think it's a little bit more prevalent where it's like, yo, women don't need men for anything. Like, there's really nothing in the world that a woman needs a man for. And I think men, for the longest time, didn't appreciate that in a sense. And it's like, yeah, no, they need me for X, Y, and Z. But it's like, at this point, yo, they really don't need you for anything, bro. They don't even need you to get pregnant. They can do that shit 7 other ways.
Facts.
Like, so I think men are realizing that now and need to be more conscious. Like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, I got to make sure I'm good. What I'm bringing to the table is sufficient or more than sufficient, and for her to feel comfortable, want to explore that. And it goes the same way. Like, women need to also do the same things. Like, there's certain things, like, women can't just rely on, like, there's always the running joke on Twitter, like, around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna give my man some pussy for as a gift. And it's like, yeah, nah, that doesn't work. And I think most
Guys, I know. I was there, and I was wondering what the hell Flanny just said. Guys, sorry with the technical difficulties. We are still, on the newer side of a podcast. My mic was terrible, that podcast. Hopefully I fixed it in post. Hopefully I kept the multi-tracks. I'm filming this before I attempt to do the multi-track post-edit. So, yeah, we were flowing that conversation. It was really good. We'll definitely get Flanny and Brett back on because that was a really good conversation. They were really good guests. Appreciate my boy, Flanny and Brett do it. Definitely check that out. Give that a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify, Google Podcasts. Give us a like, subscribe, share. We appreciate all that on YouTube. We definitely appreciate everything you guys have been doing. All the listeners, definitely appreciate all the love. Really appreciate it. Those 5-star reviews, those comments definitely help out. Share on TikTok, share on Instagram, share to your friends. We really appreciate all the help. Again, I'm sorry that we just cut off because I was there. I'm wondering what Flanny said, because it was all good conversations. So this is the outro. Instead of just leaving you guys on red, like this sounds like we got taken out by the FBI on that one. It just literally comes to a halt. So this is the outro. I really appreciate everything. Keep that 5-star reviews up. Let's get it, baby. EG Pot of Thunder, baby. EG Pot of Thunder. Let's get it.